Hello, this is Tam the TamBOTC channel, and we're finally getting to the second part. Hopefully this records. I'm doing it on a separate recording device, XSplit recording device, because the Elgato, for some reason, refuses to record read-alongs. So we're reading the Chapter 2, Tales of Dragons. I will try to do it a little better than I did last time. I feel like I was a little sloppy with my first attempt on the first chapter, but I will still keep the video up so that we can keep updated with it. And it's gotten the most views on my channel, so I'm doing another one. Because so many people enjoy it. And people even subscribed for more of it, but sadly unsubscribed because they haven't seen any. But that's because of technical issues and such, sorry. I've been really trying on it. Matter of fact, the stupid Elgato kept quitting on me whenever I would, and it would just randomly stop recording it midway through. I was like, crud. Alright, Chapter 2, Tales of Dragons. Leif and Barda spun around. Joseph, the librarian, was standing there, leaning heavily on his stick. He had crept into the room so silently that they had no idea. Oh, dagnabbit. Not heard him. Sorry. What foolishness are you talking about, Joseph? Snapped Barda, glancing at Leif's strained face on concern. Crop failures are nothing new in Deltora. We were half-starved all through the years of the Shadow Lord's terror, but we hardly noticed it then. It is only after a battle, when you are safe, that you have time to fret about the sting of a small wound or the tightness of your boots. Joseph, following the big man's eyes to Leif's fixed, dread-filled expression. His face fell. "Forgive me," he said, hobbling forward. "I am tired and spoke hastily. Barda is quite right. The threat of famine has plagued Deltora for centuries." Sorry for my reading, by the way, on some of this. "Yes," said Leif in a low voice. Oops. But it was not always so, Joseph. You and I both know it." He pointed at the one tidy shelf in the great room. A shelf holding a row of tall, pale blue books. The early volumes of Deltora annals are full of tales and giant harvests, prize-winning melons, hauls of fish, too heavy that the nets of the fishermen tore. He said, "When did things change? And why?" Joseph looked anxiously from his king's drawn face to Barda's, and back again. I do not know," he stammered. "It just happened, little by little, but I have sometimes thought." "Yes?" Leif leaned forward. "What, Joseph?" Joseph wet his lips. "Only," he quivered, "only that the land's decline seems to have followed the decline of Deltora's dragons." Leif and Barda glanced at each other. In both their minds was a vision of a golden dragon they had seen in the Osmine Hills. The dragon had been deep in an enchanted sleep, and they had not breathed a word of it to anyone, for its cavern guarded a secret underground world they had sworn never to reveal. Barda cleared his throat. I do not see how the land could have suffered from the dragon's extinction, he said roughly. The beasts were a menace, by all reports. Joseph drew himself up. I beg you to disagree, he said. Look, I will show you. He tottered to the shelf where many volumes of Deltora annals were stored. Barda clicked his tongue impatiently. Oh, why did I give him an excuse to start messing around with those cursed books? He said to Leaf under his breath. Now there will be no stopping the old boar. Joseph, said Leaf, the meeting is about to begin. We really don't have time for... But the old man had already thrown aside his stick and seized a pale blue book from the shelf. I have always believed that the dragons of Deltora were linked to the land more closely than most people understood, he said, flipping eagerly through the book's yellowed pages. Do you know, for example, that the dragons were divided into 7 tribes, just as the original peoples of Deltora were? No, nor do I care, said Barda rudely. If you would prefer ignorance to knowledge, that is your affair, said Joseph, turning through from his book with a frown. But the king, who has read my small work, the Deltora Book of Monsters, knows exactly what I am talking about. Is that not so, your majesty? Oh, yes, stammered Leaf. In fact, though he had glanced at the remarkable pictures in Joseph's book, he had not yet found time to read the closely written words. They are mapped Deltora, Dragon Territories, Emerald, Lapis Lazuli, Amethyst, Ruby, I can't see the middle one because it's in the opal. Okay, Diamond and Topaz in different parts of the map. Hope you like little pictures of above, by the way. Alright, moving on to the next page. Gotta keep an eye on time, too. Fortunately, Joseph did not notice his confusion. He had found the page he was looking for. On it was a map of Deltora, one Leaf only vaguely remembered. Curious despite himself, Leaf moved to the old man's side and looked. This map was made by the explorer Doran, the dragon lover, long ago, said Joseph, tapping the page with a bony finger. Doran's maps were never elegant, but they were always accurate. This one shows the borders of the 7 dragon territories. Doran drew it often, but sadly only one of the... I'm just getting out of character. Of the loose copies he made for travelers still survives. That's weird. I keep it safely locked away. The borders look the same as the old borders of the 7 tribes, said Barda. Look over his shoulder. They are the same, exclaimed Joseph excitedly. I have to remember I haven't read this in a long time, so I don't know what to expect myself anymore. And I might be a little sloppy, so I'm sorry. Apologize for that. I hope the audio too is coming in well. Alright. Do you not see how important this is? Examined Joseph. You are not thinking, Captain of the Guards, why you, of all people, should understand. Barda remained silent. Joseph looked at him severely. The magic belt of Deltora, created by the first king, the blacksmith Aiden, and worn by his heirs, protects the land from the Shadow Lord, he said in the impatient tone of one speaking to a very small child. Each of its great gems, the topaz, the ruby, the opal, the lapis lazuli, the emerald, the amethyst, and the diamond, came from deep within our earth, and each was a talisman of one Deltorian tribe. Barda knows this very well, Joseph, said Leaf gently. Now we really must. Wait, Joseph commanded, stabbing at the writing aside the map. Read what Doran says here. Read it. Once the 7 dragon tribes encircled Deltora. With their strength, the most ancient and wise of the beasts, the dragons were the guardians and protectors of their territories. Now I fear their time is ending. They are being attacked and killed in great numbers by the monstrous vulture-like birds from the Shadowlands, known as the 7 Akbaba. Despite my pleas, the king does nothing, and the magic belt remains locked away from him in the tower. The people are glad because they can ill spare the beasts they lose to the dragons, but I am certain that the dragons' loss is disastrous for Deltora, and was meant to be so. They are being destroyed for a reason. I am determined to search out the last of them and find a way of protecting them if I can. I leave on the morrow and pray I will not be too late. That book was cut in half. Anyways, it's close to ending the video. So, somebody's bothering me too. We only have a couple of pages. Yeah, I wish I didn't have 15-minute long things, and I wish I didn't say a couple things and mess up a little bit, but I'm sorry. I'm glad I at least got this out. And I will get this next one out. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments below, and I will continue on this book. I will try to improve a little bit, too. There's only 3 more pages, so I probably could have gone through it faster. But I don't want to rush it. So, see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.